Hi, this is my takeaways, my close reading of the graphic novel project. So, the graphic novel that I decided to do was actually, I assumed it was on the list, and I think maybe it was taken off. I didn't realize. I apologize for that. It is Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet, and this is pretty much the fall and rise of Wakanda once T'Challa, our current Black Panther, or the individual like Chadwick Boseman played, his father dies. So, to give a brief backstory, is Wakanda is simply under attack by their own people. The individuals living there feel as if T'Challa, the king, isn't fully representing their nation correctly and isn't supporting them emotionally as a nation, as a king should. So there has been a lot of civil war between officials and citizens, and it's very politically driven, and I would say very influential to what we were going through just a few months ago regarding riots and police brutality. So pretty much the individuals or the citizens of Wakanda do not feel supported by their king, rightfully so, because he hasn't been there because he's been with the Avengers. Pretty much backstory. That was it. But I wanted to give you a backstory of what's actually going on. These two women in the scene, I'm going to butcher their names. I apologize. They are Ayo and Oki. Ayo and Oki. These two women are like civil war tyrants. Pretty much they're fighting against T'Challa for the betterment of their people. And one of the women is actually a murderer. She murdered a man in her village because he was abusing the girls within the village. So that's another backstory of Ayo and Okei. Why I picked this specific scene is important for so many reasons. Marvel, for the longest time, wasn't inclusive regarding race, and then for another long time, wasn't inclusive regarding sexuality. Also, as a woman of color, being part of as a woman of color, when you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community, there's a stigma within a lot of cultures because of it, because of religious, because of generational trauma. So let's just unpack the power within these two women falling in love and also unpack the intimacy of this scene. So if you begin, the women have just freshly ran out of prison. Ayo has been broken out of prison by Okay, I'm so sorry. And they are hiding away from the city because they're fugitives. They're wanted for, one of them is a murderer, and one of them is a person who lets a murderer escape for the most part. So these two women have fought off people, and they are now on the outskirts of the city trying to seek refuge. Let's talk about the fact that they kiss. They are two black women, two queer women, in a society that may not be welcoming to them at all. As I said, culturally, being gay is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of black and brown parents. So the fact that Marvel decided to make two really like badass females, don't need a man type situation to fall in love, is the most amazing part about this entire novel. Like, I love Black Panther. I love T'Challa. He's one of my favorite superheroes. But in reality, I was fighting for these two to be in love the whole time. Like, I didn't care about anything else. I wanted to know if they were going to stay together. So that is what we can see, and like that's the cultural relevancy of being black and queer in mainstream media. It's hard because they're so they're not represented, and for this to be in a graphic novel, some people deem graphic novels children's books. It's very influential. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and it's beyond powerful. Let's talk about the intimacy within this scene, though. You can't see them. This conversation is strictly between these two women. We can't even see the details in their faces, and there is a beauty of that intimacy, that this moment is for them, and they're the only two people that can see each other and look at each other and enjoy each other's presence. And that is why I picked this scene, because of the beauty within intimacy it represented. We begin with the two women in front of a fire. You would think that we could see their details in front of light, but no. The illustrator made it a point to let this woman have this moment by themselves and not make like a parade of it. This is an intimate moment, and the same way if this was a woman and a man, or a man and a man, this is their moment to have and be held together. And even when we go into the boxes and we get a closer look at the women, we still can't see their face. We only see the texture of their hair and the details of their paint. And it isn't until they physically kiss, we still don't see that, and it's so beautiful because they get that moment for themselves. And as I've said before, like this, sorry, I'm like looking at the graphic novel on my phone because my iPad wasn't working. Like I said before, like this is one of the most beautiful moments I've ever read and got to visibly watch, because there's pictures to it. And I hope that in the Marvel Cinematic future, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future, they decide to continue with this relationship, because who doesn't love two independent, badass women just falling in love because they were friends and because of their love and desire to fight for something outside of themselves and fight for the people around them. I definitely recommend this. I feel like this should be within a classroom curriculum because of the strength these two women give. If people don't want to view this as an LGBTQ plus love story, which it is, you can view this as a feminist, like, iconic movement. These women decided that they weren't okay with what was going on in society, and they were going to make a change, and they just so happen to be gay, and that is dope. But this is my close reading. I don't want to take more time because I'm almost at 8 minutes, but I definitely recommend it. So, thanks.